VCR Creatives with Coco Event Group.
And I am Doobie Danx. I'm a musician based in Colorado right now. Originally from Mississippi, but I grew up all up and down the East Coast, so yeah.
Nice. What age were you when music drew you in? What made you fall in love with music?
Honestly, I think I was around like 7 or 8 when I first was drawn into music. I learned how to play drums, and I started playing the drums a lot. I think what made me fall in love with music is just, the concept of music itself, how it can, influence the masses, and have so much control over everything. So I think that's what made me fall in love with it. And just, how vast, how much music there actually is, out in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what made me, how many different types of music, all the different types of music that there is, it's really unfathomable, so, but yeah.
Ceiling's really the limit with genres and how you experiment, and it's also, I feel like, the most healing art form.
No, it is though. There are certain frequencies that can heal you,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of crazy. So
yeah, Blonde got me through the hardest part of my life by Frank Ocean.
Okay.
I love that album.
Yeah,
It's a very therapeutic album for me.
Nah, that's a fire album. Good album for sure.
How would you describe your style of music?
Honestly, I think that when you put, yourself into a certain genre, it kind of limits your creativity. I feel like it's more of a mental thing more than anything. But so I kind of just create music, based on my mood. You know what I mean? Most of the shit that I do create falls into, hip hop and sometimes dance hall, sometimes house or whatever.
Yeah.
But mainly hip hop, I guess. I just bullshit around that question.
But don't like to be limited by
Yeah, but I don't just make hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I can make whatever,
Definitely.
Whatever I think sounds good. Mood music is what I would call it, yeah.
Who or what inspires your music? What would you love, or who would you love to collaborate with?
Who inspires me? I don't think it's more so of a who. I think just in general, like I was saying, doubling back earlier to what I was saying, it's the fact that, you can pretty much make anything. I think that's what inspires me the most. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be inspired to create, stuff that's not, I wouldn't necessarily say normal, but in a specific category. You know what I'm saying? I try to break boundaries.
Not stay in a box.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Who would I like to collaborate with? I mean, I got a long list, honestly. But yeah, I think my top 3 would be Timbaland. I would love to, collaborate on a project with Timbaland. Pierre Bourne, and then Erykah Badu. I think that'd be
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's always been
And I don't find a lot of people that know of Pierre Bourne or like him.
Oh, I love, bro. Low key, I be fanboying on some other shit. I fuck with Pierre Bourne. I think he's revolutionized the music game just in general. Honestly, him and I would say Doobie Danx are at the top of my list right now for producers.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I didn't discover him until True. He loves Pierre Bourne.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's our song.
That's what's up.
I know you produce your own beats as well. What came first, rapping or producing?
I think they kind of came pretty much at the same, within the same time period of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, when I was introduced to music, I started playing the drums, and that kind of deals with. It's kind of like producing, but I mean, it is producing. It's just playing, drums live or whatever.
Yeah.
Live music. And then briefly after I started playing the drums, when I started actually writing to actual beats and stuff. But I didn't really officially become a producer and start making my own beats up until probably my sophomore year of high school. And I was just making beats on GarageBand and shit, so it wasn't like anything crazy. And then I produced a project off of GarageBand, and like that was like some of my earliest work.
Yeah.
And I think after that, I started using my first actual DAW that I still use today, Studio One, and I've just been cranking shit out ever since.
Nice. What's the biggest challenge you've encountered on your creative journey?
I think my biggest challenge is more of an internal challenge than like anything on the outside. I would say like self-doubt, just like missing up opportunities and shit, just because I feel like it's not like where the product needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that limits my creativity a lot too. It's self-doubt. I'll be in the middle of some shit, and it's like I get that shaky feeling or whatever. But yeah, I think that would be my biggest challenge overall. As an artist, I feel like that's a lot of artists.
If you had to give a piece of advice to the younger generation pertaining to creativity and passion and monetizing it, what would it be?
I think I would have to say if you're passionate about something, go after it. And if you can find a way to turn that passion into a commodity, or you can make that passion work for you and not you work for it.
Yeah.
Go after it even faster, and don't stop until you reach what you are wanting to accomplish, pretty much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What are your hobbies outside of music? Do you believe it's important to implement balance with your creativity?
Hobbies outside of music, I work a lot, so I don't really do much outside of that. Like music is what I do outside of work, so I try to keep up with my health. Like I try to go to the gym and shit like that. I love basketball. That's why I put together that basketball event or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I do think it's important to try and keep balance in your life, just in general. Even if you're not a creative, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But definitely if you are creative, because I feel like being a creative in the environment that you place yourself in, it's like you always have so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there has to be some type of order in the chaos.
Definitely.
So
I struggle with that.
yeah. Oh, me too. I just started understanding the concept of a calendar. You know what I'm saying? So
Me
it's
too.
I feel it.
What doors do you see opening in 2025? What is your number one goal?
My number one goal is just to always keep progressing, honestly, always keep getting better with my craft and just, as a human being. I feel like, I don't like to put expectations on what I'm doing, just because, like I said, shit like that just kind of limits your creativity, or it gets you into that mode of where you're overthinking and shit. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I have a lot of goals, in mind. But we'll just have to see and find out. Just gotta tap in.
Definitely. Doobie is a part of our Coco team. In what ways has Coco impacted you? What are you most excited for pertaining to our collective?
Honestly, Coco has impacted me heavily. Honestly, when I first joined the team, I knew it was the beginning of something great. I could already tell. Just with all the personalities coming together, and the vision that we had and that we're trying to instill within everyone else that we come in contact with. So yeah, I think it's definitely impacted me heavily. I feel like I have a new sense of purpose or whatever, what I'm saying, along with all my other ones. But I'm excited just for what the future holds. Honestly, I don't know what's next, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I know we've got a lot of dope stuff lined up. But I'm saying as far as the growth of Coco, and the expansion, not only for creatives in Colorado, but for creatives, all over the nation. I feel like it can definitely turn into something big.
How do you view the Colorado creative scene?
I definitely think the Colorado creative scene is young. You know what I mean? And when I say that, it's still fresh on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of buzz around us right now. Definitely feel like, you know, it does have the potential to, you know, like turn into a LA or Atlanta or, you know what I mean? Like it would turn into a hub for creatives. We just have to, I feel like we just have to, like, you know, really come together. That's, you know, what Coco is pretty much all about, is convergence collective. So it's like we're converging, you know, making all those connections or whatever. So I definitely see it, you know, flourishing within the next, you know, 5 to 6 years for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like cool to blend a bunch of different mediums from all sorts of different artists.
Exactly.
So I've liked that part of it a lot.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of already answered this, but if you have anything to add on, in what ways do you think we could improve collectively for the creative scene in Colorado?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, one of the biggest problems within every creative community is ego. You know, it can be your best or your worst nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of personalities that, you know, need to put ego aside, and for everyone to come together, you know what I mean? I feel like that'll be we'll see a big jump in, you know, creativity if we can come together and, you know, try to put all that other shit to.
Yeah, and kind of show more support for one another.
Right. Instead of thinking it's like a competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lastly, what is a phrase, motto, or affirmation you give yourself to keep up with this pursuit?
Shit don't stop, man. Shit don't stop. People do. Shit. Fuck when we ball. What can you say?
Well, thank you for being on this podcast. I've appreciated like becoming your friend over the past couple months, and love collaborating on Coco stuff. And I love what you're doing and love your music, so I'm excited.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, for real.
Peace out.
Peace out, y'all.